DSR2 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Yo, yo, yo! Wait no longer! I know. It was a whole flippin' summer. We didn't get in a midsummer spectacular, none of that stuff. So there is plenty to talk about. We're going to get out of stuff we missed while we were gone. We'll tell you about our summer, the things we learned, the stuff we did. Well, of course, there is plenty of meat on the sports bone, so to speak. So, without further ado, oh, you know where I'm going. Let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, the newly married Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we're back here for our 15th season of DSR2, my 13th season as a co-host here. So we got here lots and lots to talk about it. We took the summer off. Yeah, it was a little busy. I had some personal matters to take care of, like getting married, going on a honeymoon, and it busier than shit for work. So we got lots here to talk about on there with it. So again, we got NFL action starting officially tomorrow night. We got college football that started actually, I'll say week 1 was officially last weekend, but we had week 0 the week before. We got that going on there. We've also got the end of the baseball season winding down there. Also, all sorts of news coming out there as well with wrestling, boxing, basketball, jerseys, all sorts of craziness especially with basketball and who's going where, who's what. It's a huge soap opera on there for especially certain teams. Utah hates everybody on their team, so they decided to trade them all.
Everybody gone. See ya.
I guess you're getting the number 1 pick of the draft.
Because
you've got nothing.
And it's funny. You could try all these little gimmicks to try to keep teams from tanking, but there's always going to be some incentive to be the worst of the worst.
Yes.
Because at some point in time, even with a draft lottery, you get more ping pong balls.
Yeah.
So there's no real way to kind of to curb it. So I'm all for tanking if you're not doing a 10-year tank job to rebuild for 3 years worth of, only kind of sort of okay. Like Philly did for
trust the process.
That took way too long.
I trusted the process, but you guys handling the process and the picks and everything with the process and everything suck.
Yeah, that was way too long.
Process only works if you got somebody competent there to pick the players.
That's the whole thing. But the process is only as good as the person who came up with it, and it's only as effective as the people who implement it. That's it. Like, you could talk about the process. It's like when you go to your day job, they're like, trust the process. And then you look back and wonder why you did all this and that and the other third and whatever. And you go, there ain't no effing process because one way it's this way and the next day it's that way. For this one, it's that way. For this guy, it's that way. No, there is no process. Shut up about the process and trust the process. But, to me, it felt like your process was just like a mess. I would trust the process if it wasn't horse crap. It's the same thing with getting references. Oh, I'd like a reference check on so-and-so, and you're asking people you don't know. Like, what the hell does that do? Like, what's a reference from someone you don't know? Like, okay, no, a reference is from I trust this guy's opinion, and he referred this individual. That is a flippin' reference.
Right.
Not like, hey, this guy will vouch for me over here.
Who are you?
Who the hell is this guy? I don't give a shit. Like, I don't know this guy. Okay, this guy over here is going to vouch for me. Okay, that's great. Get the fuck on, both of you.
Right.
And that's what that is to me. So, all these stories are going to tie back into everything because the NFL's got a little touch of that. We can talk about the NFL from all over the place. So, I don't know. You see that in everything and everywhere, but yeah, a whole nother rant. Which is what we'll do. We'll rant a lot.
Yes.
But, and you can get in on the rant. We've got a text line. We'll get that up to you here in just 1 second. I can find it because, we haven't done this in a while.
Yeah, we haven't done it.
It's right here. And it's even the same number, and the number works. And here you go.
Screwing around on the Twitter sphere on that earlier today. And also a little clipping from the Dan Lepetard show.
Oh, jeez.
Actually, it was pretty funny because
they are funny and goofy.
They are funny and goofy.
You got to take them tongue in cheek, all
yes.
that. Okay.
But one of the conspiracy theories is what was Tom Brady doing on there? What does he do every year? And one guy goes, well, he's getting procedures done. What do you mean procedure? He goes, well, they're replacing body parts. He goes, he's getting like artificial knees and hips and shoulders and all.
He's bionic.
Like bionics.
Yes. That's why he gets better every year.
He's sitting there like this going, I'm not going to even address this. I'm not going to even acknowledge it. It's so stupid. Ridiculous.
That's so awesome.
And Gordon Stukas is laughing his ass off and everything with that.
I see. I have to be in the mood for that kind of stuff, so I'm not a big Levitard fan. But those two, you can get some.
When you want something just goofy, you know what? I'm in a shit mood. I need to laugh.
Yeah, just something goofy, and
I'll turn them on and I'll laugh.
Yeah, if you're like you want to take this, and you're being all sports serious, and you're being, you may not want that show. But when you want sports goofy. That shows.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give it to him.
I'm like, okay, I laughed on there. So
yeah.
And then now Rich Eisen's now no longer on. He's on Peacock, and no, he's gone from Peacock, isn't he?
I thought he was still. Well, maybe now that you mention it, I don't think I've heard him on the Peacock SXM. You know, because NBC, and NBC's.
I want to say he went to Amazon.
Oh, okay, maybe.
I think so. I think
so he's going to be on Amazon Prime then?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah, he left there on there. And, of course, we got, the games now will be officially on Thursday nights on Amazon Prime only. So, pony up, spend the damn money. You want your football. You're a junkie. You're addicted. You need it.
My thing is like, I'm not sure, like, what century you're all living in, and you ain't got an Amazon Prime already.
If you order a decent amount of stuff every year, you might as well get the Prime because guess what? Shipping's free and the Prime Video is all bonus.
Look, I have Amazon Prime and I can't remember the last time I logged into my Prime Video, and they got all kinds of stuff. Like they'll do concerts and they'll do all kinds of special events. They're now in with the NFL. It's not going to be long before they'll be in with NBA and anything else that can make them live money.
$700 million making this Lord of the Rings series on there. So
like they're all in. Like Amazon, look, okay. Y'all watch Demolition Man, right? When it's all said and done, it's gonna be Amazon and Taco Bell, motherfuckers. That's it. Okay,
that and the big rats that are scurrying out of Lafayette, Coney Island.
Right. So bigger than ever. So
well, they are eating hot now.
Yeah. So it's the nitrates.
It's good enough for a brat. It's good enough for me.
Yeah, it's all about the nitrates, baby. So yeah,
that's what they make the chili out of.
I mean, get in on the Amazon because like they make stuff happen. Same thing, just little stuff, right? They put an Amazon place over here, and like Art Van at this location had their location and forever wanted to have a light in front. And, so they could have trap for their semis and stuff like that. And the city, I think it's Sterling Heights there or Warren.
Warren's on the south side. Sterling Heights is on the north side.
Yeah, so either way, the city wasn't allowing that light to be there because they just didn't deem it worthy. Amazon came in and they're like, oh, let's put a light there for you. And they put the light right there. Right in front of the new Amazon driveway. Amazon
probably said, you're going to put a light there. No, we can't really afford it. No, we'll pay for the light, but the light's going up.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
And they're like, oh, okay. Because that was a fast. Everything else looks like Beirut, and that shit looks mint, brand new light right out front, a traffic light. So like get on board, baby. It's happening. Like you can fight it or you can enjoy what you got going on now. This is dangerous to, creeping towards monopoly, but it's not really because everybody's going to convert over. This is just the way things are going to be. Everything's going to be digital and shipped and ease and quick. And they're just revolutionary. They're just, on the ground floor here. And they're the one that's part of the revolutionary part. This is going to be the norm going forward.
Little mom and pop stores. I'll go to a little mom and pop store, try to keep them in business where I can.
That's what you need to do. You need to spend your cash locally, like as local as you can get. Anything you can get, spend that money locally. But to tell me that like to get commodities and to get things that something like you need to be on board because you're missing out on access. Now, will it always be like this? Who knows? We'll see. But what will happen is everybody will follow suit with like an Amazon.
Right.
Like every company is available online. You
I'm
can
just pissed I didn't buy stock when it was cheap.
Yes. But I
we would have really had the palatial Studio 57 studios then.
Yeah, right. Gosh. Well, hey man, we're way upgraded from back in the days, and we even have a mascot, and so we've come a long way from our tiny little studio. We've got if you guys are new to the show, we appreciate you. All the old hats that have been back are back. We appreciate you again. 313-307-5340. The text line is available to you guys. Please hit us up. We're on Studio 57 social media across the board. You can see here on the back wall, we've got the drop down screen. We do some watch it with us. So there's all kinds of special events that come with this show. So don't be afraid to check in here and there. Even if you miss a show, make sure you come back and watch these episodes. They're available on YouTube and wherever you get your downloads and all that happy stuff for podcast. And then and on our social media, and you can go to studio57radio.com. So we're always available, but we do all kinds of different stuff. We'll have Watch It With Us when there's certain games and events going on. We have a live event coming up in a couple of weeks. Moose, we are going to be out at the Foaling Warehouse in Ypsilanti. It is all the info is on our social media. I'll get a better plug a little bit later, but this is the kind of stuff. We got all kinds of fun activities going on, and I'm telling you guys, I don't know if you can get it on the text line on this too, if you guys have been foaling or not. I don't care if you have or you haven't. You need to come out so I can whoop your ass. All of you. Are you listening? If you are from Southeast Michigan, you're anywhere near Ypsilanti, down that river area there, you bring all three of your teeth and come on down to the Ypsilanti Foaling Warehouse, and I'll whoop that ass. Okay? Yes. I ain't even playing. Come on. We're going to do the show live. So we'll be on air like normal 2 weeks. It's the 21st.
Yes.
So we'll do our show like normal. Well, it'll be far from normal if you know anything about the live shows. Our remotes, we've done a couple in the past.
Yes.
And they do tend to get completely off the rails. So, and if y'all come out, then I'll bring that extra camera. We'll put it out there, man. We'll
come on in and have some fun with us.
Yeah, I'll pay for the game and I'll whoop your ass. Whatever it takes, we'll play a game. I'll whoop your ass. Come earn a chance to get your ass whooped by. You know what? Bring a partner, and me and Moose will whoop your ass. Moose is looking at me like, don't get me into this shit. No, Moose, you're coming in there and we're whooping someone's ass. So bring all your partners and friends and come hang out.
So come on out with us and enjoy it.
Dude, foaling is so fun, dude.
We'll have the former host here, Scotty Super Genius, will be there as well.
Yep.
It's his business venture with a couple others. So out there, and again, this year now things are getting somewhat back to normal. We're going to try to do some more live shows on there.
Yep, do some venues. We'll definitely be back again if we don't get kicked out. If everything goes well, I'm sure we'll be back. We do have some other options as well. We'll do some goofy stuff. We're all set up to do guerrilla radio, so expect maybe a broadcast like that where we go on location, pirate style, and kind of infiltrate and do shows.
Because we got to get our experience with doing that, because we will be doing that for the
for the
2024 NFL draft.
Yes.
Unless we can get our credentials there and be up there in the front,
actually get in. Yeah. So there's a lot to it, but we're having fun with it. You just never know what to expect here. And also at Studio 57 Radio, we have a ton of cool new podcasts coming. And so just make sure, if you haven't already, to get on all our social media, like, follow, subscribe, do all that. Make sure you hit all your reminders and notifications and all that good stuff so you don't miss out on any of the fun stuff we got going on. Like I said, if you're local to the Metro Detroit area, there is an opportunity to come hang out with us, have fun. Like you can see, we like to goof and clown around, so don't be shy. If you see us, a live event pops up near you, definitely come out, say something. Like I said, I am not kidding about the foaling. I will pay for the opportunity to whip your ass. So just come play and hang out. You'll love the foaling. It might be a new addiction for you. Who knows? Come watch the show live. You can kind of be a part of the show. You know what I mean? Hecklers welcome. Because as you could tell, we're not short of, giving it back and forth. So we can have a good time here, and it'll be fun. Within reason, guys. Don't shut us down. Like I said, we want to come back. So, but yeah, so we got a lot going on, man. And we want you guys to be a part of it. Also, I'm working some angles for some more giveaways for us as well, like we used to do. Really, COVID put us into basically a hibernated kind of version of the show, and now we're able to come out and do some stuff. So there you go. And like I said, we'll do some more events when it comes to the Watch It With Us. We always do the NFL draft. We'll do some big playoff games and things like that. And maybe we'll even move show dates. If you guys want to sit and do some things, we'll open the chat and we'll watch games and stuff like that. So we'll work the schedule out. We're going to have some fun this year. And so it may be a little bit more fluid than it usually is, although it's almost always a fluid situation when it comes to doing a podcast. So I appreciate it. All you guys have been hanging out through all these years and all this time and everything else, and coming back here for year 15, episode 658.
Damn.
That's insane.
That is insane. That's like insane numbers.
And
that's like Simpson numbers.
It would be it would be really stupid if we worked every week. That would be insane.
Yeah.
Because because we would be like in the 12s. You know what I mean? Episode wise. So it's nice to take the summer off, but we're back. We're recharged. We want to hear from you guys. Anything you want to get in on, anything that we kind of rip through. If you want to change the subject, feel free. If we miss anything, you want to get it in there, feel free. 313-307-5340, and of course on our social media as well. It's been a crazy off season for us, so to speak. Moose, of course, you are in our personal lives, you probably more so than even me.
Yeah.
But it's sports has been nuts too, man. I don't even know where to start. The Deshaun Watson stuff is out there.
So the Watson's out there.
There's so much stuff out there. So I know we kind of do the whip around, and we've been like all over the place already. So let's get this train on the tracks, and let's do something so we can be as efficient as possible. Let's what hit you the most over the summer? What was the summer story, Moose? And we'll just go from there. You guys can get it on it too, and that's how we'll handle all the stuff that we missed while we're gone. Instead of sitting here wasting an hour on it, we're gonna tell what we think is the craziest thing or whatever we saw, our take on it from a story over the summer, and then we want to hear what you guys were talking about over the summer.
Obviously, I was getting to go into the big white elephants in the room are obviously the NFL and the college football. And really is with college football, it's the whole landscape of creating the super conferences. Really, I mean, with just before we ended the season last year, we had USC and UCLA officially announcing that they're joining the Big Ten in 24.
Right.
Then they came out with the TV contract.
Well, and now it's like they want to break this TV contract. We talked about this contract in the past and why we thought it would hold up because of the financial fallout and how hard ESPN would fight to keep that contract if they wanted to change the playoff.
Yeah.
But ESPN,
you go to 12 teams in the playoffs on there?
ESPN's acquiescing. I'm wondering if they are like, hey, all right, we'll we'll let you break the contract, but we want in on the first bids for the new deal.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about just the amount of money there. There was that ridiculous that the Big Ten's getting from NBC, CBS, and Fox. They're getting a $7 billion TV deal.
Did you see how much money they left on the table by only having this minimal playoff? If they expanded, they had a independent auditor come out and do that as well, and that's why this is going to go forward with the change.
Oh God, yes. And then you got Oregon's already approached the Big Ten, so they're going to be in there. I have a feeling with NBC on board and NBC doing the late game on there on Saturday nights, that's Notre Dame.
To me, this is the alternate league. This is as much as it's developmental league too. It's an alternate league that is very much developmental in the fact, that the NFL will pull from their prospects, but this is in no way. This is like AAA, whatever. This is no way student athlete.
Oh God, that's on with the whole NIL deals.
The landscape that we knew was going to change. We all knew. We talked about it here, right? That is actually happening very rapidly. It's happening right now before your very eyes, so quickly that they can't even wait out the contracts that they've already signed, knowing this stuff was going to happen anyway. And so it's even happening faster than they thought, right? And it is what it is. This is the evolution of how sport's going to be consumed, and it's changing. And it is. That student athlete stuff's gone. That'll never, ever be again. The closest thing you'll ever get to a student athlete now will probably be middle school. At some point, there's going to be payouts for high school kids.
Oh, God.
There already is in certain states. So
yeah, I mean, if you're a high-end athlete and everything with it, and you want to go into, like for us, Detroit Country Day or something like that, guess what? They're paying you a scholarship. If you're playing football, you're a great prospect. Guess what? You want to play for Brother Rice? Guess what? You got a scholarship.
Well, you're going to have what you're going to get is that trickle down effect, right? All the dirty stuff that happened in college now will drip
down on there. Yeah. And again, trust me, some of these private schools have huge alumni that got deep pockets.
And this is only the tip of the iceberg, and people are like, oh my God, it's freaking out. Oh yeah. This is only the very tippy tip of a very large iceberg that is crashing down on college athletics. That is a huge story over the summer. One, if not the biggest. Obviously, you talked about the other one. For me, will always be the NFL story because I'm all about the drama. And NFL, they can bring the effing drama, can't they?
Oh, God, yes. The whole Deshaun Watson, we're going to give him a...
This is the most despicable pile of horse shit situation I've ever seen in my life. Like, I'm sorry, but this independent, arbitrator BS with this ex-judge woman coming out, and I don't know how you set a precedent by saying, he was predatory. I believe he did these things. There's plenty of evidence towards his guilt. But I'm only going to give him 6 games.
What?
Huh? What did you say? And then, I'm sorry, call me a conspiracy theorist. I'll put my foil hat on right now for the rest of the damn show. You will never convince me otherwise that the NFL didn't just decide that, you know what? We're going to get as many ratings off of this as we can. And they reinstated that dude for the game back in Texas.
Of course they did.
Are you kidding me? The whole talk was to do anything and everything to avoid that game. He was going to start the week after if that's what it took. And then it was all in their hands. It was all in their hands. They stacked the deck. It fell the way they wanted. It was in their hands. And that's what they chose.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be real. That's what they chose. They made a conscious, out of all the weeks they could have picked him to come back, they had their pick right there. Dude, they had the bailout at 6 games. They could have let him go to 8 games and been like, hey, we still gave him more than she said, and guess what? It still wouldn't have been back on that day.
Yes,
it wouldn't have been
the 11 games on there they gave on there.
Dude, they landed right on that game. And how did they do that? There is no way. What did they just close their eyes and roll some dice and go, yep, that's the day we'll land on because the dice said so.
It said 11. I got a 6 and a 5. That's 11. Bam.
No way.
That's how many games you got.
No way, dude. No way. Someone made that conscious decision knowing that was it. No, you'll never convince me otherwise.
Well, again, here it is too. With the preseason, he's active in uniform on the sideline. What's going on in Cleveland that week? What was going on in Cleveland that weekend? The United States Masseuse Association convention in Cleveland.
He was on. Why was this not handled?
Of course he was.
Why was this not handled before he ever got anywhere near a microphone, a field, a locker room, a television, a press conference? Like, why? Like, how was this not handled long before that? That right there could get me riled up. But the fact that we went this far and then you landed on that date, you did all this stuff, dude. You came out with a big fucking sign that says, guess what, women? You're just a vagina. You're just a big dick box, and we don't give a shit about anything else. F you. All of you women can kiss my ass. We don't care.
Right.
They might as well have just said that and been done with it. That is the most insulting punishment situation I've ever seen handled in the public. This makes the Ray Rice stuff look like kids.
Oh, God,
I'm sorry.
yes, because there's
This is
24
child split.
incidences on him. Then you have the scumbags out there saying he shouldn't have got suspended at all. He didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing charged with it.
Well,
he
yeah.
wasn't charged with anything.
Okay, that's cool. That's fine if you're all right with that. But from a moral standpoint and a conduct, a personal conduct
He should have
standpoint,
been gone 2 years minimum.
That's done. It's done. He should be gone. I'm sorry. I think he should be prosecuted criminally.
Yes.
If for whatever reason they feel that they can't or won't get it done because of his because of his stature and whatever and whoever and whatever, then dude, that's an indictment on our system and how effed up it is. But I think there should be, and guess what? If they go to trial and he's innocent, then he's effing innocent. Okay, I eat my words or whatever, dude. But come on, man. I'm sorry, I'm out of line because I don't know, 384,624 women came out and said something, and now I'm out of line because I think it could be true. I mean, come on, man. Come on. So this is how the NFL handles that shit. So to me, that is by far the biggest. And you know what? The only reason it would be college football, but the NFL said, "Hold my beer. We need to be in the headlines. We need to shit the bed more than the Olympic Committee back in the day and this bullshit now with college. It doesn't matter. And guess what? We'll watch it. We'll all watch it. God damn it, we'll all watch it. In fact, my dumbass is going to a game on Sunday. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a part of the problem too. I just did a whole 3.5 minutes on this bullshit.
But you're there Sunday.
Yeah, I'm there Sunday. That's what we do.
Yeah, it is. It is on it. It's just,
and that's why they do it, because we just go in there and
we don't care.
We just consume the shit. We go, I don't want to be any part of that. I had nothing to do with it. I think it's bullshit. I think it's wrong and it's horrible. And I just want to enjoy my football. That's all I want. And you turn a blind eye to the fact that this is how the NFL is run forever. And all these crackers, these rich ass crackers, are running ruckshaw on the planet. And now it's getting out of hand. And they're going to get caught up. It's only the tip of the iceberg. When we talk about big stories next year or over the year, this one will come up. And next year, it'll all come up more, because all the stuff with Snyder and all the owners and all this other stuff, dude, once the feds get involved, oh boy, guess what? We're going to be talking about an entire sports change, landscape change. It'll be like a nuke.
Maybe that's what needs to be done, is nuked.
It may be. You know what? Maybe we need to Thanos this motherfucker right now.
Yes. Where's my gauntlet?
I'm telling you. I'm feeling a Thanos moment when it comes to just the debauchery. You know what? And it's an all of entertainment. Don't get it twisted. When you get that kind of money to entertain somebody, no matter what you're doing, whether you're telling jokes, you're doing a podcast, you're on a show, you're in a movie or TV, or you're an athlete, or you're a musician, or a wrestler. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're entertaining people and there's big money to be made, there's going to be fuckwads involved.
Right.
There just is. And I guess that goes for anything with money, but it feels like entertainment is just over the top. And the NFL has proven to be the king of all.
Yes.
Not just of ratings and of sports and of, all that merch sales and all that other stuff, but of debauchery as well.
Oh, God, yes.
And it's just so yeah, I want my football. I love my football that much. That's how much we love the damn sport, that we try to tune that shit out. It's getting harder, Moose. It's getting harder and harder. Because social, this digital media, where it could be all in your face so quick, and everybody's got to take it. Everybody knows what's going on. Like boom, 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 boom. It's getting to be overload, and we're going to be talking a lot about
it's going to be a little bit
honor.
Yeah, we got that going on. Can Baltimore basically get their head out of their ass and just fucking sign Lamar Jackson?
He will. I'm telling you right now, he will not be signed.
They won't sign him.
They're not going to sign him. It's once they're playing, he ain't doing it. and he ain't even negotiating.
No.
At that point, that's the way he operates. So yes, no, they're not signing him. I guess what it boils down to is analytics. If you look, and you guys can kill me in the text if you want, of course, it's there, 313-307-5340.
And I'm not blaming him because he's done everything they've asked him. He's been on there. He's there in the camp early, busting. He's doing all the work in the offseason.
No doubt.
And it's the problem really with the front office is, dude, get him a decent frickin' receiver, for God's sakes.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
They got no talent. He's got nobody to throw to other than a tight end.
You're right, but this is the problem with that, Moose, is when this is we're in an analytics world, and I just believe that he's a victim of analytics. So what's his age right now? That is going to be an issue. But if you look at his age and his productivity,
26, if that.
Okay, so he's 26. So that's not really playing against him yet, but you're talking about a guy who's had diminishing skill sets for the last 3 years. Since his MVP year, he has fallen off. And he's not falling off drastically, but he's trending in the wrong direction. And if you break out the analytics on him over the last 3 years, you're saying, okay, he's only an okay quarterback. Just go. You can pull up his numbers now. The last 3 years, he's just been average. He's the 15th quarterback in the league the last 3 years. How much are you paying for that? You're not paying him for what he did in 2019.
Yeah, but you look over who he had as receivers last year, too. He had got hot garbage.
The point. Now, this is the year. He bet on himself.
Yeah.
They decided, you know what? We got you this year. We wanted to negotiate with you, but you want more than we're willing to give you based on what you've done the last 3 years and what we think we're going to get going forward. So you can. I want you to do good. I want you to blow me away. Because I'll pay you then if you're worth it. But if you're not going to blow me away, then what am I giving you the money for?
You know, here again, I'm going to go with the conspiracy theory. And you know where he's going to end up? Baltimore won't sign him. Guess where he'll end up? Tampa. Brady will hang it up after this year.
I mean, I guess. Do you want to follow the GOAT?
Well, I mean,
I don't.
But they'll
and I don't think that team's appealing because you have the offensive line's falling apart.
Right.
It's going to be rough for Brady this year.
Oh, it's going to be rough for Brady this year.
That's why the fuck you think he's trying to go to Miami and do all that other nonsense?
Well, that's what he was trying to, but then
well, yeah, we know what happened. He went to Miami and the kibosh went in because the White Boys Club was doing their thing and got exposed again.
Yes. Yeah.
Once again, we go back to my rant earlier, but that was
we got that going on.
Cut and paste.
Is this the year where the Patriots just fall off the damn cliff?
Is this the year they fall off the cliff?
Well, I think there's a reason why it will, because who's calling their offense now?
Yeah, I mean, but there's going to be some tight reins, I think, on that. I don't think that is going to be a situation
but they lost a lot of their defensive players, too, because they just didn't have the money to pay them.
That's going to be the issue. That's going to be the issue is how they've, over the years, granted, like, they've been able to get Brady to defer money and do all these different things. They still ultimately... But you
spend $100 million for 2 tight ends.
They did not spend money in great places.
No, they did not spend it smartly on there. You gave Jonnu on their $100 million or $50 million contract. You gave Hunter Henry a $50 million contract. What the hell are you giving two $50 million contracts to tight ends?
Right.
They're not Gronk in their prime.
Right.
They're not Travis Kelce.
Nope.
They're not Mark Andrews. They're nice tight ends, but they're not $50 million contract tight ends.
Not at all.
They're $25 million contract tight ends.
Yep.
So we got that. Here locally, well, actually, nationally, is the love fest with the Lions. I mean, it seems to be going, and
I find that odd. It's just so weird. Like, I get it. Like, people watch TV and they go, "Oh, I like this guy because I watched him on TV and it was good." But it's weird.
Supposed experts, guys that follow the NFL, are saying, "Dudes, and again, we'll see what happens." I mean, am I thinking they're going to be they'll win 7 to 9 games? That's if everything on there it falls in place in there. On there, but we'll see what happens there. But I think I want Dan Campbell to succeed because I like him. Do I think he's a great coach? I don't know. I don't know what's he going to do on there. Brad Holmes, I have my thoughts on there that I think they finally got a legitimate general manager.
Well, we're going to find out about that.
We'll find out on there. But
I hope you're right.
I think Aaron Glenn might be that diamond in the rough getting as a defensive coordinator. We'll see on there. I think again, trust me, we're in a division under. The Bears are god-awful, terrible on there. I think, the slow fest for Green Bay. Oh, Green Bay's going to win that. I don't see it.
Well,
I don't see Green Bay winning the North.
Well, Green Bay is the standard. It's Green Bay's to lose. Why? I mean, I don't think Detroit's any good. I don't think the Bears are any good. And I don't think Minnesota's that great. So who the hell else is going to take it?
I think Minnesota's got more talent, and especially on offense, than Green Bay does.
Well, this is my take on Minnesota. Minnesota's going to be the one that everybody's like, "Ooh, look at Minnesota."
It's all basically what Kirk Cousins are we going to get?
But, bam! I said in the end, we already know what we got. He is what
he is. What do you think he is? Yeah. The only thing is they've got arguably the best receiver in the game. They've got a top 5 running back in the game.
You have a best receiver in the game who knows it, and then guess what happens when the guy can't get him the ball?
He's going to be a diva.
Every receiver,
right? And again, there's no love for Cincinnati this year. I'm like, dude, they've got the best trio receivers in the fucking game. They've got a Pro Bowl running back. They've got a great young quarterback who's got moxie,
right?
And got the talent to back it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see why people aren't falling on it. I think sit down there. Now, Buffalo, I think Buffalo is by far, I think they're going to win. This is the year Buffalo gets to the Super Bowl.
Well, that's the betting favorite. I get all of that. Now they're screwed. Now the target's on their back. Now the pressure's on their shoulders. Now let's see if they could even come close to repeating what they did last year. It's going to be hard. It's the same thing when you look at the Rams. They put all this money and do all this stuff. There's no way they're going back.
There's no way. Again,
you know what I'm saying?
Stafford's got tendonitis in the elbow. I mean,
it's
is he going to make it through the year?
Right. So there's.
Good. I hope they got the Super Bowl. Let him get hurt week 1. Nothing serious where he's just out for the rest of the year and we get like a top
serious.
5 pick out of the Rams.
The rest of the next of the year. Nothing serious. He's out for the rest of the year.
He can come back next year. I don't care because I want that top
he's
5
not,
pick.
He's not going on holiday.
He's not getting bionic parts put in like Brady.
He should be.
He should be.
He should have been the first one. Jeez, he's been broken since how long?
Well, the first 2 years he got hurt, and then he went on a 10-year run where he didn't get hurt, and on there. But
he played pretty beat up most of his career. Yes. Quite honestly, it's not that he wasn't hurt. It's just he was broken so bad early on that all those aches and pains and all that stuff was just, hey, this isn't bad. I was way worse before. I'm good. And that's what it was with Stafford. That's what people underestimate about that guy is how tough he is because he isn't like the, look at me and rah, rah, rah. He's quiet and laid back and super chill. He's like a surfer dude almost to his vibe, And so he's very chill and laid back like that. So, but that dude is a tough son of a bitch, man.
Yeah, he is.
That dude played hurt most of his career. And he played really well. Let's be honest.
Come on.
He played there. Okay, I want you to tell me another team that is bottom 6 or 8 teams in the league while having a top 15 quarterback.
Yeah.
Or top 10 quarterback. Because the Lions had that. You usually don't when your team is at the bottom third or bottom 6 teams in the league, you don't usually have a quarterback that is actually a top 10 or 15 quarterback. You don't. That's usually the problem. This dude dealt with that for multiple years, and he did. He carried a team. Granted, he had Calvin and Sue for a while there, so there was a foundation of a team there. But we saw how much of a mess that turned out to be here.
Yeah.
And he still man. So none of it. I told you what was going to happen. I told y'all when he went to the Rams, Super Bowl. Done. I said Super Bowl. He's going to win one. He won the first time out.
Right.
Like, y'all can say what you want about Stafford. Like, he gets so much hate here. Everybody's like, he can't do it. He ain't shit. No, dude, your team ain't shit.
No, and you get the clowns out there. They won despite him. Dude, he led you from comeback wins in all 3 playoffs.
Yeah.
You were down in the 4th. He came back and beat Tampa Bay.
Doesn't he have more come from behind victories than like any quarterback in his era?
Since 2010, he's got the most comeback wins in the 4th quarter of any quarterback in the NFL. Like 40-something comeback wins, which is ridiculous.
Dude, come on, man. That's part of what is great about it. Like, isn't that what everybody loved about Elway and some of these other guys back in the day? Because that's what they did. They won games when it mattered.
Right. When they won a game when they had no business coming back and winning that game. And under. Now, what and again, we'll say under is, what if Stafford was like 20 years older and we got him instead of Andre Ware and he was playing with, with Barry, with Herman Moore, with Brett Perriman, with Lomas Brown.
If you had a guy like that with that 91 team, put him on that 91 team?
We beat Washington.
Dude. If you put him on that 91 team, you're a favorite in the NFC until he retires.
Right. It would be basically Detroit versus Dallas in every NFC championship for almost a decade.
Right. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I wouldn't even have to. And you know what? I'll even argue that maybe he doesn't get hurt that year that he gets smashed in Cleveland. Or whatever.
Because he had a good. You had Lomas Brown, which was a Pro Bowler. You had Kevin Glover, which was a Pro Bowler. Andelsack in '91 was basically up and coming on there. Utley was up and coming until he got the injury. Maybe Utley doesn't get hurt and Andelsack doesn't get killed in the offseason. Then you got a team for a decade.
Right. So yeah, I mean, people that give the Stafford hate, I don't get the Stafford hate.
Then we tell all those people that say Emmitt Smith is better than Barry Sanders, kiss my ass.
I'm sorry, I don't care what the stats say. I've watched a shit ton of running backs all in their day, and okay, I'll listen to your argument with Walter Payton or whatever, but it's Barry. Yes. It's Barry.
Barry is the best pure runner I've ever seen.
I mean, I'll listen to the argument with Walter Payton because I get it, but he's number 2, man. Barry's number 1. I'm sorry. Dude, I don't know what you could say or do to change my mind because I watched the man play. I watched him do stuff that was like, I lived in the area, right down the street from the stadium. We went to a lot of games when I was a kid. Like, I watched this dude play. I've watched all these cats play. It's the same thing, dude. I hate to say it, but, Jordan's the GOAT, guys. I'm a Pistons fan.
He's the best player I've ever seen.
He took my guys and won championships after we
and Barry Sanders was the best running back I've ever seen.
And he's the best basketball player I've ever seen. Barry Sanders, best football player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
He's the best running back I've ever seen, and it's not even close.
Yep. Exactly. Brady's the GOAT. Don't know what to tell you.
And again, don't give me the credit. Emmett ran behind the best offensive line in all of football. Probably of all time.
Yeah, I was about to say all time.
If Barry's behind that, he's averaging 2,000 yards a season.
Right.
Averaging.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's crushing it.
Yeah. After 10 years, he retires. He's got 20,000 yards rushing.
Yeah, I don't even think he retires because he doesn't get touched. He doesn't get beat down.
Then he's going to retire.
And they're winning. It's
going to be like when Wilt Chamberlain retired and the next guy was like 15,000 points behind him.
Yes. Absolutely. Great comparison. You know where to send it.
Yeah,
you know where to send it. Because I'm sorry, like I don't care. And we span multiple eras. It was just between us.
He almost ended dude's career without even touching them.
Right. Oh yeah.
Just by little juking it. Ask Rod Woodson that.
Yeah.
I blew out my knee. Well, how'd you do it? I got juked by Barry Sanders, and I tried the same movie he did, and my body can't do that. Yeah. Nobody's human body can do that.
Nobody can do that. It's the same kind of thing. Like, I got this little dog. You guys know I told you at the end of the year I inherited this little dog, and so I got this little dog. His name's Thor, and he's a Jack Russell and a German Shepherd and mix. And so he's goofy, but he's fast and he's agile. And my dogs, my Australian Shepherd and my Pitties, they can't get anywhere near him. Anytime he's made my 4-legged creatures fall on their butts. And I'm like, wait a minute, you have 4 legs and he broke all 4 of your ankles. and you were, like he got the moves, and like so it's like, whoa, that you can. How do you compete with that? It's the same thing with those guys. When you look at a Barry Sanders, a Michael Jordan, you just look at them and go, how is that? How? Like I learned physics in high school. Like this breaks all those rules.
Yeah.
I think they told me. Or I wasn't listening.
He's doing stuff to the human body. I mean, yeah. So we always said on there, they're doing stuff on there with the body that
amazing.
How can you do that on there? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you look at the NFL. It's gonna be a little interesting this year.
Yeah, I
agree. Certain teams on there that they're saying, oh, they again, Arizona. I'm like, Arizona's gonna be a train wreck.
You know what? I think that's the thing. You know what? And we talked about it a pre-show, Moose. Anybody that is in the what we call the degenerate gambling group, the ones that like they're really into sports for, is something to throw some money down on or whatever, wager on, whether it be fantasy or a books, real money, or DraftKings or whatever you're doing. But watching any sport right now. I'm telling you, the landscape of shit is all over the place. Moose, we goofed and joked about it, and we made it a niche and a gimmick all year to whatever you do to gamble opposite. We don't know what the hell we're talking about. We can't read this. Moose, this year will be even more so, is my prediction going forward.
Oh, God.
There's so many teams that cats are high on or low on, and all that's going to get flipped on its head this year.
It's going to flip on its head.
I mean, more so, I think, than we've seen in quite a long time.
Yes. Oh, yeah, because there's certain teams on there, I mean, like Seattle's going to be a train wreck.
Yeah, I think so. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I know, people in Denver are super whoop-de-woo, but, that's a hit or miss. If you let Russ cook and he can cook, then maybe, but I don't know if he's got the rest. I don't know if he's got the ingredients, and I don't know that. I don't know if they got what they need there. I don't know if that's a kumbaya situation.
You know what? It's whether the offensive line can do in there, because he does have good running backs with Javonte Williams and Mel Gordon.
He does have a running game.
He's got some pretty good receivers with Cortland Sutton and Judy. And
but how are they going to utilize Russ? Right? Isn't that always been the conversation with Russell Wilson? So that's to me why I feel
the one thing is it's basically the coach there was at Mike McDaniel from Frisco. He was the offensive coordinator there. Yeah. So I'll have we'll see on that one, because again, who is his offensive coordinator in frickin' Seattle?
Right.
So we'll see who's on that.
Well, yeah. And you know what? There's a certain philosophy in there, too. Pete Carroll's philosophy is...
But the problem is Denver's in the AFC West.
I know. It's murder's
That's a murder's row.
Yeah. You're in big trouble, dude.
I mean, they may win 10 games and still may not make the playoffs.
All right. Yep. Yeah, I think that they're in that 9, maybe 10 range, so I think they just miss. But it's just one of those things.
Yeah, because, I mean, like the Raiders may finish last in a division and still win 9 games.
Potentially.
Yeah.
I think I like the Raiders better, but over Dallas. So
Denver.
Denver.
I love.
Well, speaking of Dallas, all y'all fans, I can't wait to start seeing your pictures on the internet.
I love
this year. They're gonna be so
the
sad.
Chargers this year.
You know what? You know what the Chargers are to me? Okay. You want to talk Chargers? We can talk Chargers, because Chargers are the masters of doing less with more in my entire life, dude. I've never, ever been... I've always... Dude,
They've got the talent to win it all.
I've probably been a Chargers fan longer than a Lions fan, and I've lived here and went to the games and did all that. I am a Chargers fan for a long, long time. I loved the way they had LT, and I was mad when they had to make the Drew Brees move and go to Phillip Rivers, but it kind of worked out for both teams, and I still was still a Drew Brees fan after he left because of that. In whatever, which, I mean, that guy's one of my favorites, actually, even back at Purdue. Anyway, but, and so, like, what the fuck is this shit that's come up on my computer? I didn't ask for. I don't want to see more. I want to see less. Go the fuck away. Okay, it did. It was listening. That team has had a stacked roster over the years at some points, and have always had talent. And they've just always underachieved, man. Always. How do you have like LT and Phillip Rivers and Gates and all these guys and not win?
Well, before that, you had Fouts.
Yeah.
And Wes Chandler and Kellen
Didn't
Winslow.
Fouts win one, though?
No.
No, he didn't. You're right. You're right.
They played the greatest game on there was
Yes.
that triple overtime playoff
Yes.
game against Miami, in
Right.
which they were basically Winslow had to be
That's why I
carried
like
off
having
on
him
the field and that. But you had a great team there. I mean, you had Fouts and Wes Chandler and Charlie Joyner and Kellen Winslow Sr.
and even up
Chuck
until
Muncie. I mean, it was a great team.
And
they
they-
had no defense, but that
Right.
offense was ungodly good. Eric Coryell. And then after that, you got into the Bobby Ross with Natron Means Business
Yep.
and Steve Humphreys and that on there. And then after that, you got into the Philip Rivers and LT and Junior Seau.
Yep.
Just loaded. And they were just...
Gates.
The problem is with that team was you had the Patriots.
Yes. Yeah.
It was just you ran into the goat and the Patriots.
Yep.
Otherwise, I mean, come on.
Well, that was kind of like what was happening to Peyton Manning too, right?
Yeah. We ran into
because he had some really good Colts teams.
yes.
And-
Problem is they ran into playoffs. They ran into what? New England.
Yeah.
And on there. But yeah, I think they added Khalil Mack this year. So they got, I really like that. They'll probably win the West on there because I think Kansas City takes a step back because Mahomes, other than Kelsey, who's Mahomes throwing to this year?
You know what? I kind of don't think it matters. I think they've proven that it doesn't matter when they let what's his name go, and
Tariq Hill?
yeah, when they let Hill go, they're like, I ain't worried about it. And
Yeah, they drafted basically a younger version of him with Sky Moore from
Right.
Western Michigan.
so I just don't think that they're worried. I think that they feel the scheme and the game planning is good. Think about Andy Reid and what he did with Philly when it came to receivers and stuff. That whole time, Donovan, he didn't never. I mean, they finally brought in Terrell Owens, and it became a nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean,
he got you to the Super Bowl
Right,
and everything, but and then after that, it was a freaking
Right.
circus.
And I remember it was a big thing that they didn't have any receivers. If they just got a big name receiver, they could win a championship, and they did get there. But it was a total shit show. It was 1 year, and of like, okay, this is cool. We wish we'd have won. We didn't and then it just became the circus that it always is with T.O. So like, I don't know that Andy Reid has ever been big on having like these, quote unquote,
Stud receiver.
yeah.
He just does with what he's got. Because again,
And look what Mahomes can do. Look, like he could put it. He doesn't care. He throws it too.
no, he is basically arguably first or second best offensive mind in all football.
Right.
I mean,
Sure.
you'd almost say look what Kyle Shanahan does on there in Frisco with on there, and look what they do. But again, he knows what his talent is, and he knows what his strengths are, and so forth with
Right.
it. And they have played those teams accordingly. But Andy Reid is an offensive genius.
Yes.
I mean, he is again one of the smart, probably the best offensive mind we've ever seen in football. Because look what he did. I mean, he did this for a decade in Philly. Goes to Kansas City, and he doesn't even miss a beat.
No.
I mean, look what he did. He resurrected Alex Smith's career on there.
Yep.
They get to the playoffs and everything with it.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden they got Mahomes. Like, we're going to put him in. He drafted Mahomes with who? Who did they draft? Who's this Patrick Mahomes guy out there? The Tigers drafted him in baseball. What the hell? And all of a sudden,
Right.
look. On there. But you know what it is? I think Kansas City is it's defense wise. They couldn't afford the guys, and they're losing some of these guys out there. So I think that hurts them on there. But again, it hurts them. They're still making the playoffs as a wild card. At worst case.
We got the extra.
At worst case.
You got the extra one in. So yeah.
So we'll get that there. I think the Patriots finally this would catches up with them. I like Buffalo. I think Miami. We'll see what Miami under. I'm kind of high on Miami, what they can do with that and on there. But like you look at somebody to Pittsburgh. I mean, everybody's high. I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see on Pittsburgh on there. You got Mitch Trubisky as your starting quarterback.
Right.
Week 3, you'll have Kenny Pickett as your starting quarterback.
This is the deal with this. Okay, so Mitch Trubisky has had a franchise molded around him before. He's been a leader of the locker room. He's been the quarterback before. He's been through it. That's why he's there.
Right.
So Tomlin and and really just the Pittsburgh organization. This is how they operate. And think about how Big Ben got in. I mean, it took an injury for him to come in, even though they drafted him.
Right.
And so it's the same kind of situation. Now, hopefully it won't be an injury. What we're hoping is obviously that Pickett just is that much better. And that's what they're hoping for, and that he's able to come in.
I think it is.
And I think that's
yeah.
what will happen. I mean, I don't think Trubisky is anything different than we've ever thought he was. I think he will look and play better in that system. I think he will have a better. Come on, dude. Chicago. Do we have to go over their track record with quarterbacks? So, like, do I want to put everything on Trubisky now that we know the history there? Now, Trubisky hasn't been great besides that either, but in the Pittsburgh organization, who took a slash guy and made him a quarterback.
I mean, come on.
Cordell Stewart had no business being a quarterback.
Neil O'Donnell got to a damn Super Bowl.
Right. And Cordell Stewart probably had no business being as good as he was at quarterback.
Right. No, I mean, you got to, because Neil,
because he was like
Cordell
a utility
got
player.
To the playoffs, got to an AFC championship.
Right. And he was like a utility player.
Yes.
And they just had no quarterbacks. He's like, hey, I can throw the ball.
Yeah.
I was a quarterback in high school or whatever it was.
Yeah, so we got that there. And again, we know Cleveland's going to be a train wreck. I mean, the defense is pretty good. They've got a great running game, but, I mean, I think all the other off-the-field stuff is going to just be an absolute.
Cleveland sold their soul,
and
they laughed about it. They're like, look what we just did.
Yeah, it's great. We'll see when you're picking in the top 5 pick of the NFL draft.
What a joke!
Yeah.
You know what? Is there any team more root againstable? Is that even a phrase than the fucking Browns this year?
No.
I mean,
maybe the Commanders.
Yeah. Well.
That's because of the ownership.
Yeah. But I mean, geez. Talk about the most heel team in the entire NFL. They gotta be. They gotta be the most hated team.
God, yes.
Yeah.
Because it's just how they run their organization on there with that. And again, we got the AFC South right now. I think it's Indianapolis is the win or lose.
Sure.
On there, because again, I think Matt Ryan is a definitely upgrade over Carson Wentz on there, even at this point of his career. Just because of the between the ears.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
without a doubt.
Does Wentz have better physical tools than Matty Ice? Yeah.
Sure.
But between the ears, Matty Ice is like, above him. And they've got a great offensive line, a really good defense, the best running back in the game right now, and some underrated receivers. I mean, Michael Pittman, I think, is going to make a step up this year. So I do believe Indianapolis wins the West or the South. Tennessee, I'm not sure because they just traded all their. I mean, they're basically got Robert Woods coming off an ACL injury. They drafted Traylon Burks. They traded away AJ Brown. I mean, again, Derrick Henry is coming off a little bit of an injury. He's getting up there. Took a lot of wear and tear. We'll see how he can handle up long term on that too. So I don't know. With on the Southwise on there. NFC, I mean, I definitely Philly's going to win the East because the East is garbage.
I was about to say, yeah. I mean, the only competition they got is
Dallas.
And Dallas is.
And then we're like, Dallas?
Yeah, and I think Dallas is just going to blow up, and then McCarthy.
It's going to implode.
Yeah, McCarthy will be gone, and enter in Sean Payton.
Yes. Yeah, because with the down there, the Commanders are terrible. The Giants are terrible. NFC South.
You know what?
We'll see what Tampa come down there. Again, that could be interesting on it because we know Tampa's going to get their offensive line is beat up and everything, and Brady's going to suffer on that. We'll see what Carolina could do. I mean, we know they're getting, Baker. Maybe it's a reclamation project there on it. Again. Can Christian McCaffrey stay healthy? If he stays healthy and you got DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, the defense is pretty decent. That could be one of those surprise teams.
Sure.
I don't know what to think out of them, but they could be a surprise under. Yeah. Same thing with New Orleans. Defense is really good. They have talent on the receivers, but they still have Jameis under. Jameis can look great, and Jameis can look terrible.
Right.
And they can go from series to series.
Well, absolutely. And I've already got people in on the Saints.
And Kamara is still facing the felonious assault there in Vegas.
Sure. Well, and you know what? There's so much debauchery going on in the league. No one's even talking about that.
But Atlanta's terrible. We know they're dead. They're going to be awful.
Yeah, they are.
And then we already talked about the North. We've already talked about the West.
Well, as much as we're sitting here going on, and we'll get into it because we're about to take a break. As much as we go on and on and on about the haves and the have-nots in this league, every year we have more new teams in the playoffs. We've got teams that shouldn't win games that do, and vice versa. So we'll get into that. We'll get into pick'ems. We'll get into fantasy moment, and guys, Chris, Mike, Tom, Joe, Jerry, we'll get to it. We're running it down. I heard you. We're going to get into this thing. It's NFL, baby. You know how we do.
We'll get into that in a bit. We also got some college football to go on there. Of course, we will have Moose's fantasy moment. You already had your drafts and everything, so I'll just tell you guys to keep an eye out on there. And, of course, pick'ems. We've got to do better than last year because we were terrible.
Yeah, it can't get any worse.
So we'll see you in a few. We have DSR2 Studio 57 Radio.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. The listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air. And now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate Tire. With winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's the Lodge Service Drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you're loving life, you need to be in the club.
We are taking over this broadcast.
for the ultimate underground. Studio 57 Radio Original. You know, when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that's the sound of the Ultimate Underground live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say infamous, venues in the D, and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the Ultimate Underground is going to take over a broadcast. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, for clues on when and where the next Ultimate Underground may happen. Now, there's no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the Ultimate Underground live on your home for hip-hop, rock and metal, Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com, or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390, or log on to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the deep. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground pop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Yo, Rebels, it feels so good to be back. We're doing our thing like we always do. We see you on the text lines and all that. We're going to get into it, man. We're NFL heavy, of course. We want to talk some college football. You guys are like, hey, college. We want to talk college. We want to talk NFL. Let's do this thing. No one's talking live golf. They don't want to hear none of that. I didn't see you hear anybody want to talk about anything unless they want to hate on the Yankees. Let's see. Yeah. So there you go. I mean, we can do that. We're on the Yankees if we want. We got all kinds of fun stuff we can do here. It's all up to you guys on what we do here. So let's do this thing, man. It is hour 2 of season 15, episode 658 of DSR2. What are we talking about here? So, without further ado, let's do what we do in DSR2. This is hour 2, and I'm scrubbing it here with Johnny the Mouse.
Hey, we're back here for the second hour of DSR2 on our 15th season premiere. So again, we talked a lot about NFL there. We just got a little craziness. And again, of course, we're a little bit all over the place in our rundown of what's going on. But we still got some college football going on there. We still got our pickups to go there. We still got Moose's fantasy moment. And we still have Scrappy Damas's predictions on division and Super Bowl winners.
This ought to be interesting.
Yes, we'll see if he can hit it this year. So
Yeah.
Right now is coaches on the hot seat on there for week 1 on there for the top 5 coaches or 6 coaches that are on the hot seat. Number 6 is Pete Carroll.
Sure.
Dude, 70 years old. He'll be 71. It's just time to basically, retire for guys.
It isn't really a hot seat as much of a dude. You just timed out, motherfucker.
Yeah, Ron Rivera for the Washington on there. You know what? I'm not gonna blame Ron Rivera for the Commanders on there.
I was about to say
maybe
the
it's your
ownership.
freaking ownership that you're
Yeah.
a fucking troll.
He should be on the hot seat. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
rat bastard. Frank Wright for the Colts on there. Maybe, I mean, because of the whole Carson Wentz on there, so he better make it do right down there with Matty Ice on there. But again, as I said, I think they're going to win the South, so I think he's a good. Cliff King, yes, because the way they fall apart at the end of the year, every year on there, him and would say is Kyler Murray should be on the hot seat. Matt Rule from Carolina, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, because without what's his name, without McCaffrey,
they're garbage.
Nothing.
They're
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
And number 1, Mike McCarthy. Yes.
Yeah. Once
Again,
Sean
oh my
Payton will have
God!
his job
Somebody
now.
they read our minds on there because Sean Payton is currently unavailable, but that's only for this year.
Yeah.
Because
So I said he'll be in next year.
Even though he's not coaching, he's under contract, so that's a year. So yeah, better win it this year, otherwise Peyton's coming to Dallas.
I'm telling you, man. That's my true Scrappy Damas prediction, but I will.
Mike
get to-
McCarthy get fired, and
at the end of the
Sean
year,
Payton gets
Sean
hired
goes
as
in.
that new head coach. Yeah.
This will be, and you know what this will take? This will take Jerry Jones stepping back a little bit. Now he ain't gonna say that shit publicly, but he's gonna do it for that just to get that championship. He's gonna shit despite Jerry Jones.
He's gonna let Sean Payton call the shots.
Yep. Yeah, he's doing that to spite Jimmy Johnson. There, he's gonna let him do what he wants to
But
do.
he should have never got rid of Jimmy. His ego got in there because
Yeah.
you should have never gotten rid of Jimmy. Could have won a couple more there.
Well, Peyton's gonna want control, so
He should.
and I just think he's gonna give it to him because the dude's 80 years old, and if he's serious about another championship, he better do it now.
Yeah,
He F around and die in week 17.
on a super yacht.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got on there, but yeah, I think Kingsbury's got to be on the hot seat there because again, they better. And I don't see them making the playoffs again.
No,
They won last year, but they won the first round.
Scrappy Damas Kingsbury will be a recycled coordinator in 3 years.
Go back to college.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say.
But again, did he ever win it at Texas Tech? No. He'll be a coordinator.
Yep. One of those recycled coaches / coordinators. I mean, I don't know what to say. That's just what I've.
Yes. I totally agree on that.
Yeah, like you said, I don't know how much that's on him, but it just feels like he's never done anything where he's never been that successful. So I don't know. Whatever. Overrated. I not the Kingsbury thing.
No, I never got the why. What the huge thing about Kingsbury was.
No, yeah. So anyway, college football rankings moved around after one. How?
Again, I don't even pay attention to rankings.
I know they're not official right now. It's all kind of bullshit. But like, why are we even doing this? Like, why do we have to have any rankings at all, whether they're
till the end of October
full or not?
No, they shouldn't.
There shouldn't be any
because we don't know
preseason
how these
rankings, all that
teams
stuff. I don't get
are.
any of that.
All we know is because again, most of these teams play absolutely nobody
Right.
in basically non-conference. What do we know? What we learn from it is Georgia's really good because they took Oregon out to the woodshed and basically buried them out there. They didn't just beat them like a redhead. They beat them, dug up, burnt their bodies, and then buried the bones behind the woodshed. That's how bad of a beating that was on that. So I definitely say yes on that. Again, Ohio State, we don't know. Again, we don't know what we see.
It's one of those things where, like, I can look at it both ways, right? Yeah, they took him out to the woodshed. They whooped him. They did all that, yada, yada, yada. But that could be a team that wasn't ready as opposed to a team that was over. There's like a lot of things, variables in week one.
But a 49-3, that's a beatdown.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. And
I understand the Ohio State one.
I'm not. Well, even that one to me, like I'm looking at the play. I'm not looking at the score. I'm looking at the play. When I look at Ohio State, I'm thinking this team's supposed to be in the playoff.
Offense, I was questioning.
I don't know. I see him in the playoff. So now all of a sudden the Michigan Ohio State game is for real, because Michigan came out and granted they played nobody, but it don't seem to matter who they put in or what they do.
That defense was playing.
They're playing.
Yeah, they were basically on there,
and so. They move up in these bullshit rankings that mean nothing when they beat somebody that it shouldn't even affect their rankings. Right. And that's why it's so goofy to me that we even have this. Let them go out. You're going to see the way they play. Yeah, okay. It was like, a few years ago, when I think they lost to Navy because they just played like total ass. It had nothing to do with my buddy's like, oh, come on, man, they'll be fine. It's just Navy. I'm like, nah, dude. I'm watching the way they're playing.
No, that was the Army where they almost lost the Army and they won in overtime.
I was at the game. And so, yes, thank you. That's why I have you here, because you're in my brain when mine doesn't work.
Yes, because you're all coming to my house after the game for the barbecue.
Yes. And so it was, come on, man. Like, that's, you can tell. I could tell in the first quarter. I'm like, dude, they're no, and they'll be lucky to get out of here. And when we went to overtime, my buddy's like, what are you talking? I can't. I'm like, dude, I told you, man. Look at how they're playing now. Now everybody's chippy in there at that point, And so, yeah. So to me, it's kind of like the preseason, right?
Yes.
You're looking for certain players. Only you have everybody at your disposal. So now I'm looking to see like how they're performing. Are they playing well? Did the other team, are they playing well? Like, what's the execution look like? And to me, Ohio State did not look like a playoff, a top 4 or 5 team. No, I'm not saying Michigan did, but Michigan looked a little bit better, obviously, and opponents have a lot to do with it. But like you said, we're not going to know
until a month in the season what we're expecting. Yeah, like Michigan, we won't know till they play Iowa if they're any good, because their first 4 games on there are at home. And again, we got Hawaii this week, UConn next week, Maryland the week after that. You're not going to know anything until they play Iowa. But again, when you look at Iowa, go, is Iowa any good? Because they set, really, again, as we joked about it, they set college football back 150 years. With a 7-3 game, and they didn't score a touchdown. It was a field goal and 2 safeties.
That's insane.
On that, so we don't know what that's going to be on there. And again, I'm going to tell you one thing too. It's like Michigan State won on there, but they've got some banged up injuries on there. They didn't look great on there for locally.
That's going to be a big
USC might be that sleeping giant, because they looked really. And now you're seeing with a legit damn head coach here with Lincoln Riley out there what they can do. This might be back to the Pete Carroll era.
Yeah,
and they don't have to worry about getting popped because it's all legal now to pay off players.
Yeah, right. And then you look at you and how quick that's going to come out. Or is it just me?
I joked about this when I said,
is it just me?
No, it's not just you on there, because I already said this morning to work, I said, how soon does, before Brian Kelly loses the team, all of a sudden he goes, this week?
Yeah. I'm like, yesterday. I'm like, what time is it?
Maybe you should have left Notre Dame.
Like 45
I know
minutes.
you wanted to get paid, but...
Dude, the media...
LSU is not patient with the media, the fan base, the alumni are not patient with. They fired Coach O 2 years after winning a natty.
I know, and you're the guy that comes in knowing that, and this cracks me up because the media's already going after him.
Yeah.
So he had the media, the post game media or whatever the thing, and the media was late, made him wait, and they were late getting set up, and he said something about it, and someone in the back goes, he said something about being late. He's like, all right, should be on time, whatever. And the guy's like, well, if you win, we'll be on time. back in the media.
Yeah,
Like
I
one of the
saw
media
that.
members like says, "Yeah, if you win, we'll be on time." And it was like, "Oh shit!"
It's first
Shots
week.
fired, dude. You just got there, and that was like brutal, blatant disrespect. Like, right? It was part of the media thing. Like he was being. I don't know if he was trying to be a jokester or be goofy, but whoever that dude was, that's got the credentials that said, "Yeah, you win and we'll be on time." Dude, he has zero respect for your ass, and he had no problem showing
Well,
that.
then, the joke on there when he basically got hired and he's talking with a Louisiana accent. Dude, you're from the East Coast. You're from freaking Massachusetts.
My
You got-
family.
You got your first coaching gig, head coach, where? At Grand Valley. You went from
I really
honestly,
like
you're
my
not-
family. I'm
If
all
anything,
about
you should have a
family.
Michigan, a Midwestern accent over anything because you coached at Grand Valley, then Central, then Cincinnati, then Notre Dame. Where do we get Louisiana from? Because you're not even from there and you never coached there.
I'm all about family.
Yeah, oh my God, what a boob.
I'm all about family.
I really want them to just basically implode just because he's a
Yes,
tool.
yes, he is such a tool, and it's just one of those things where, like, I wonder what, like, the AD's got to be looking at him going, "Ugh, now I know why he got fired." Like, you know what I'm saying?
Now we know why Notre Dame said bye.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead, leave. With that on there, but yeah, we'll see. We don't know what's going to be this year. We don't know. You know, Oklahoma looked like they can finally play defense there. We got Mike Venable out there from coming over from Clemson, but we don't know. All we know is yes, Bama and Georgia will probably be in the playoffs. Probably Ohio State, might be USC. We don't know.
I don't
Again,
think Ohio State's in this year.
Bama plays Texas. We don't even know again if that's going to make it. We don't know. Again, I don't even know how good Texas is not even ranked. I don't even know how good they are.
Right. And once again, it just gets back to the whole thing where, like, this is we don't know anything, and this is essentially a preseason type situation
Yes.
where you're going to see them play, and if they look crisp and clean and look like they're executing, you can be happy. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't tell me where these rankings are all getting blown up. It's so effing pointless, and if you're getting in a tizzy about where your team's ranked, just relax. It'll all play itself out. Because quite frankly, the rankings only matter when you get to the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
And then after that, that it doesn't really matter. And, once again, even with a weak loss, you could have a team rip off, 11 in a row, 12 in a row, and end up in a playoff.
Yeah, you look at some of these point spreads coming up this weekend. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Dude, don't touch them, man. If you're a gambler,
I wouldn't touch either.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
touch none of the. I told you, dude.
Ohio State is playing Arkansas State. That spread is 44.5 points. Miami's played Southern Miss. That's 25 points. Texas is playing Alabama. That Alabama's 20-point favorite over Texas.
Okay, yeah. What's the over/under on it?
Over under 65.5.
It's just so hard to touch any of those, man.
Michigan is favored by 51.
They're favored by 51.
51.
That's the spread.
That's a spread.
Well, get the fuck out of here.
Over under is 67. I don't even know if Hawaii's going to score 16 points.
51.
I wouldn't touch that because if Michigan's up by 50, they're throwing in third stringers in.
Well, this is the thing. This is why I can't touch it, because if they're up 50, anything could happen.
Right. They're
Anything
going to
can
do
happen.
mass
They could-
substitutions. They're not going to, and they're going to give up 20. They may give 3 garbage touchdowns in the fourth quarter and still win by 40 plus points.
Oh yeah. And then what? And guess what they'll do at the very end? They'll kick a field goal to screw it all up.
Yeah.
And get you over, you'll get your, it'll screw up your under or your over or what, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is. Touch it, man. Those are gnarly numbers, though.
Yes.
And it's the same thing in boxing and in MMA right now.
Oh, God.
And don't even touch the Jake Paul Anderson Silva fight. That's the dumbest shit ever.
Why is he, again, I understand Anderson Silva, dude, your career, you retire, you know what, they're offering you a payday for basically nothing.
Yes, I think there's a certain, but he's been boxing, and he's fought like a legitimate boxers, you
Yes.
know. Who did he fight? He fought a legitimate, like, back in the day, like, legit box. Who did he fight? I can't remember now. So, and we know Anderson Silva's got hands.
Yeah.
It's just like, does Anderson Silva come in like just treating this as a payday? I just want to get in and out, or is this Anderson Silva go, you know what, dude? I used to be the pound for pound fight king.
Right.
Like, it didn't matter at the
You're
time.
You're a YouTuber.
And you've been skating by, beating all these fat and sassy retired fighters that were overrated to begin with, probably. And in there, you're bigger than them, you're younger than them, they're past their prime, and none of them are ready for the fight, and they're not even fighting a discipline that they're used to fighting. Like, if he comes in and looks at a guy like that and says, I'm shutting this dude up. This is ridiculous.
I'm tired of this
I'm
shit.
tired of this shit. Then then you know what? The 5 seconds worth of footage that I want to watch.
Right.
Because it'll be the 5 seconds where he fucking knocks him the fuck out. And if he
we want that to happen.
Oh, I absolutely want that to happen. If he the other option would be that he goes in there and thinks it's just a payday, and then Paul comes in and wins like a lame-o decision and a boring ass fight where the crowd's even restless. And those, I think, are your two options. I don't think there's anything in between. I really don't.
Yeah.
And this train is coming to an end. We talked about numbers and analytics before. This Jake Paul train is coming to an end. So hopefully his WWE contract is good, because he is losing pay-per-view buys by the millions.
I'm not paying for that crap.
No one's going to pay for that crap. And people like Anderson Silva and would like to see him knock this dude out, and people ain't paying for it.
Right.
So he did like, I think it was so he did 1 million buys for that first fight. And then he did so he did 1 million buys with Ben Askren, which is his first MMA fighter. And this is after he was done fighting celebrities, right? So his first legit fighter was Askren, a retired MMA fighter that was a wrestler and never a striker.
Right.
And now he's in a boxing match, and the guy hasn't fought in how long, was fat and out of shape, and didn't take it seriously. So that was his first one. He beat him. Then he and it was 1 million buys for that pay-per-view. Then he got Tyron Woodley, and it was 500,000 buys. Then Tyron actually lost and was mad about it and acted like he was going to like really tear the dude up. They had a rematch. He lost. He got knocked out. 200,000 buys. So he went from three consecutive pay-per-views in a row. He went from 1 million buys to 500,000 buys to 200,000 buys. So in essentially a year, he went from
Lost 3/4 of his audience.
right in a year. Don't act like this is for real, guys.
No.
Don't act like this is like legitimate, long term, like real. It's flash in a pan. Cash me outside. 15 minutes of fame. And in the minute this dude, and I'm gonna tell you something, win, lose, or draw with this fight with Anderson Silva, Jake Paul has to fight somebody in his weight class, in his profession, boxing. He needs a legitimate boxer in his weight class that has, that is somebody he can use as a stepping stone to the next, fighter.
Yeah.
He is yet to do that. Not somebody that's old and washed up, somebody in their prime, similar age, similar, obviously in the same weight class, and a trained boxer. Like, until he does that, he just needs to go the fuck away.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or he can go to WWE and do that, and nobody's going to like him there either. So it is what it is. And maybe he can hone his craft. Maybe he can he can be the Miz, but no. Junk, garbage shit. Don't even mess with it. Same thing with the odds in those and all these boxing matches coming up. Showtime Boxing's got something up like in the next month or so, dude. Some big fights, dude. And don't touch them. The odds are off the chains, dude. So all this stuff is crazy. I know we were getting into the football odds and all that. We'll get into fantasy moment and all that because we're running out of time. But it's like, it's crazy, dude. If you're gambling, you're insane. What else you got? Anything goofy in college you want to bring up before?
That's pretty much it about college on there. Again, the Yankees on there were up by 20 games on there, and now they're a 5-game lead on that.
Yes, a lot of Yankees hate there. The Yankee swoon.
And now they're yipping beyond the Mets under. Although the Mets are up to like, dude, Mets have still played since June 1st. Have still played 600 ball. Problem is, Atlanta's played like 750 ball since June 1st.
I know. And
so again, the Mets are not tanking. It's just Atlanta is playing ungodly.
Yeah.
Atlanta's got the core of guys in there, and they're all locked up multiple years.
Yes. Oh, this is long
They
term.
locked all the young guys up early and said, you know what, here's what we're going to do.
Yep, we're gonna be around
and
for a
do
minute.
that. So I think on him. Houston got the best record in the American League on there. We'll see what happens with Verlander when he comes back from the NL, IL on it, coming with that.
Yep.
On there, again, 39 years old. The odds on favor to win the Cy Young and everything with that on there. And again, I know the love for the Ohtani, 30 home runs, and he's got 10 wins. Again, he's going to win MVP. Again, it's most valuable.
You're right.
It's not the best player. Ohtani may be the best overall player in all baseball on that.
Right.
On it. But he's not the most valuable. Why? Because the Angels are still finishing last in their division.
That's the thing. If they're even in the talks for like a wild card situation,
No.
whatever, but that'd be different. But
Yes.
they're just not.
No.
When you're at the very, very bottom, it almost doesn't matter. It's hard to get MVP if you're not. If you look at a team and you're elevating the team around you, that's a reason why you become MVP. We can't tell if you're elevating the team if it was a bottom feeder, you're there, and there's still a bottom feeder. Like, that doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah, I'm tired of getting Mike
so
Trout. Mike Trout gets the MVP. I'm like, he doesn't. They're 4.
Right.
They're garbage.
Right.
Again.
And who knows? It's all on these sports writers too. Let's be real.
Yes.
Who they, they're going to make the decisions. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see something crazy, but it's just that hasn't been the trend. So
Yeah. So we got that on there. So, yeah, I mean, much is on there, but Dodgers are winning out in the West, and but I mean, it's gonna be Atlanta. I mean, it could be Atlanta again. I mean, I don't want to play Atlanta right now if I'm the Dodgers in the playoffs.
No.
Hell no.
Nope. Actually, as much as I haven't been paying as much into the baseball season
Because
this year,
our Tigers have been terrible.
they've been so bad, I still expect a pretty good playoff year, to be honest.
Yes.
It feels like the teams at the top should really be. You should be able to get some entertaining games out of this stuff. So, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, come on, Yankee fans. I mean, you guys know the drill. Like, don't puff your chest out too quick. Then all of a sudden something happens. Now, I don't think the Yankees are going to fall completely, but if you're playing, like you said, there's a difference between playing 600 ball right now and going into the playoffs and playing fucking 300 ball
Right.
going into the playoffs. And so that's kind of where you're at with the Yanks, dude. Like, so they make the playoffs, they win the division kind of by default because they had such a head start, such a big lead going in. But that, that translates and swept out of the playoffs. What the hell does it matter?
And the freaking Cardinals. Every year, the year they take a dive. This year they fall off under, and they still.
They just don't. Yeah.
Again, National League MVP might be Paul Goldschmidt.
It reminds me of there's teams like that you see in the NFL and whatever, the NBA or whatever, but you don't. It's a nuisance. It drives me nuts.
Yes.
But that's a good sign. It was like the Atlanta back in the day.
Yes.
Constantly, always there,
Always there. It's
The
like,
Buffalo
Jesus.
Bills back in the day, always in the Super Bowl, like 4 in a row or something. Sounds. So, I just yeah. So anyway, whatever. It'll be interesting. So we've got.
So we got your most fantasy moment. So
Yes.
again, as I said, I'm not going to say who to pick up, who not to pick up, because you already just had your draft. You should be all set there. But I'm going to just say is guys to watch with it. But eye on him in case guy gets hurt, or you just think under they go off a little bit more on it. I think the guys should take a look at. Quarterback wise, there's not a whole lot out there to take a look at in most leagues out there, because if you got 2 quarterbacks already on there, wants to keep an eye out on there. Maybe David Mills from Houston as a backup there is a possibility. On that, I would say him. Seriously, Maybe Baker Mayfield on that to keep an eye out on there. We'll see what happens on there with it. Flacco, they got him on there, but no, he's only going to start for the first weeks. Then there'll be Zach Jones in there. Running back wise, a little bit different on there. Guys being backed up. I would say Mark Ingram's a guy to watch out there, especially with the whole Kamara and the legal issues on there going on with that. I definitely take a look at him. I would definitely look at Gainwell in Philadelphia. He's going to be the receiving back primarily. Same thing with McKissick and Jerick McKinnon out there. Definitely take a look at those. And same thing with Kenyon Drake. Those will be your receiving backs out there. Is Minnesota going to get rid of Madison on there? They're shopping around. I think if he goes there, he might be a viable option with that, depending on who their running backs are out there wise. Receiver wise, on there, I definitely like is definitely who I don't like, Kenny Galladay. He may be getting cut sometime this year. On there, he's looked terrible since going to the Giants on there, so I definitely don't like him. I would say Dotson with the Commanders, kid out of Penn State. I like him. Julio is going to be the third. He's right now listed as the third, but he may be the second right now until Godwin comes back fully healthy here. Also, definitely like Tyler Boyd and Sky Moore. I definitely like looking at him, and Kendrick Osborne for the for the Vikings on there. Definitely, he'll be their number one. Number two, probably yardage. Thielen will still be get more touchdowns wise on there. Tight end wise on there. Definitely like Higbee and under Higbee with the Rams, Everett with the Chargers. Maybe Ingram if he ever can stay with Jacksonville on there, and Njoku because again, Brissett's your quarterback and he's going to be dumping it off. So yeah, I would say guys that just keep an eye out, take a look at there. Maybe Robert Tonyan to get back to his 11 touchdowns as he did a couple years, but that's about it. I mean, there's right now it's sit tight.
Yes, early.
Look what's happening. I get on there, so definitely with that. And again, if you need a kicker in defense, don't even fucking talk to me.
No. Moose's fantasy moment. So, before we get into pims, Scrappy Damas. It's hard this year when we start thinking about, and we do this because it's kind of a running joke that everybody kind of makes all these predictions before we know anything, and we just talked about it here, even in the fantasy material, to just tight and see how things kind of pan out. But we're gonna make some goofy dumb picks right now. So the closest thing I've gotten to a Scrappy Damas would be, I guess, when I called Stafford going and winning, but I didn't think they'd win in a year, so I didn't call the year. So it wasn't like it was the official Scrappy Damas. The last one I got was the Harbaugh Bowl, and I was like 3 points off the total. I mean, yeah. That's where the Scrappy Damas came from. So it's not like I hit these or anything like that. When I start breaking down these teams and looking at who's going to be available, I mean, Moose, we've done it 1,000,001 times. Look at the NFC, look at the AFC. What's the schedule look like? Who's at the top? And you? Oh, I must have hit a button. Let me get these in front of me because it's a little easier to speak when I've got it in front of me. But these guys, there's only, I don't know, it just feels like there's only so many potential candidates. Obviously, the Bills. I don't think the Rams can get back.
No.
So I'm putting the Bills in the Super Bowl, right? So that's one side of it. Hold on, let me break this thing down a little bit. I want to look at NFC and AFC. Oh, it's not letting me do it on this thing. You son of a bitch. So, who else could be there?
NFC's wide open.
It is. So you got... Oh, man. See, it's just there's only so many teams, right? Like you can't count out Chiefs. Chiefs have an opportunity. Everybody thinks that the Bills are going to be in the Super Bowl. Who do I even think is? It's not going to be the Eagles. I don't think it's going to be the Packers. Like I'm looking at division, right?
Yeah.
Is it the Bucks? I don't know. I don't think the Bucks are in.
I think the Bucks are getting in as a wild card,
Right.
and again, playoff
Anything's
times,
possible.
you
Everything's
just
possible.
think it can happen.
I just don't see anything crazy. Like, it's hard to call like a scrappy Damas. We had it here. You can see why the betting favorite is for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
So, Scrappy Damas prediction will be that Buffalo's going to go to the Super Bowl, but they ain't going to win it. I just don't know what the upset is yet. As I look at this, man, but like that, you know what I'm saying? See, so that's kind of normally do it. This year is a tough one. I told you it's too topsy-turvy for me. It's not. I don't know, dude.
I don't think, again, I'm going to agree with you. The Rams are not getting to the Super Bowl. They're not going to get back there. I think Buck gets there, and I think Buffalo wins it. I think they beat Tampa.
Yeah, I think. Yuck.
The one team I would say was I really with the under, but I'm not sure of the quarterback situation is Frisco.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the problem I have with that.
Because they got Trey Lance as starting. I know they brought back Jimmy G, but I mean, yeah, I mean it was almost say is yes, but yeah, I think Tampa Bay on there because again, I know a lot of people are like, oh, Green Bay's going to get to the Super Bowl, dude. How? Because again, even when he was loaded on there, they flame out in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when I look at this thing, I think it's going to, I mean, see, Green Bay is going to get a spot. You know what I'm saying? Tampa's going to get a spot. The Eagles are going to get a spot.
Yes.
But I'm not confident about anybody else.
No.
So it's tough, but I think there's an upset of brewing, and I don't know if it's Tom Brady, but what happens if he wins that sumbitch? But yeah, I don't know. It seems so obvious. I said with Buffalo winning, but I think whoever makes the NFC in that gauntlet, if they're healthy, I think. I'm just wondering if Buffalo is. I'm going to predict that Buffalo continues with their Super Bowl jinx. But that's my scrap. I don't know how I'm going to call it because I would normally call a team and a score and a game and we'd be all goofy. But like I said, this year is so whacked.
Yeah.
Wackadoodled. So mine's going to be a little off this year. So Buffalo will be there, but they're going to lose to whoever the NFC representative is. And honestly, I think it's either Tampa or Green Bay. Honestly, I just don't know with the Stafford injury and everything going on with the Rams if they're going to be able to do it. I would normally say, hey, you need to knock them off their perch first. But I feel there's an upset of brewing. This, you know what I'm feeling? The energy when Philly won, right? With their backup quarterback.
Yeah.
And nobody saw that shit coming. Nobody thought they were going to win that Super Bowl with Foles.
No.
So
and you can't blame Brady because he passed for over 500 yards that game too.
Right. So I'm just wondering if I just feel like something wild like that's going to happen this year, and the Buffalo Bills will live up. They will be stuck with.
I think this is the year Buffalo finally gets it done because they've got offense and defense. I think they're just loaded on both sides.
They are. That's why they're the bad favorite. That's why I said it's hard to go against the favorite.
And I think
so when I do it a scrappy Damas, it's hard to I
think top heavy. I think again the top end of the AFC is way better than anything on the NFC.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So I think Buffalo getting through the AFC under, if they get to, I think they're battle tested versus the NFC under. I think it's Tampa because again, I'm not betting. Again, I know everybody loves Aaron Rodgers, but comes
I'm
playoff
not
time,
bet-
they fight. He
Yeah.
chokes.
Yep, and I'm not betting
On it.
against Tampa. I mean, Brady at this point.
No.
They just learned my lesson. But, and at some point you'll have to, or he'll be gone, whatever. But I just think I just feel like there's an upset of we do this every year, Moose. When something is so obvious, it just isn't. So my Scrappy Damas isn't as pinpoint as it usually is, but I'm telling you right now, Buffalo's going to get to the Super Bowl and they're going to lose to whoever got in the NFC that they probably shouldn't even have been there.
Right.
So it's going to be one of those kind of situations. So that'll be my Scrappy Damas prediction. But take it with a grain of salt because it's going to be as hot of a mess as these are picks. All right, Moose. You got your games lined up in front of you.
Yes, I do.
I don't have
I got everything all set up
All
here.
right, go ahead and start pitching.
All right,
to me.
so tomorrow night on there we got this kicking off on Amazon Prime. So I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
It is the Rams are at home facing the Buffalo Bills. On there, we got Buffalo is a 2.5-point favorite against the Rams. I got Buffalo. I think Buffalo
Rams,
wins.
the Rams in Buffalo. Why does my thing say NBC for the TV? Must have been just because it's left over from last year.
Yeah, it's Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Al Michaels has gone to Amazon Prime.
So all the NBC games probably on this thing will be for the Amazon Prime. That's wild. Okay,
Maybe
sorry, go
just
ahead.
for the on there, but yeah, on there. So we got the Rams and Buffalo on there. I got the Buffalo winning that one and covering the spread.
Yeah, I think it's a great game to start off the season for sure. That'll be fun. I don't know about covering the spread 100%, but I'm with you. I'll take the Bills.
Okay. So we got the Bills on here. All right. So the first of the 1 o'clock games, we got 8 of them, or 9 of them. It's ridiculous how
Yeah,
many 1
wow.
o'clock games we got this week on there. We got New Orleans on the road against Atlanta. They're a 5.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Atlanta's terrible.
Yep.
That's the team I wouldn't draft anybody.
No. Yeah, your fantasy draft it doesn't even go near
Maybe
there.
Pitts, but that's it. I wouldn't even draft Pitts on there because who's your quarterback? Mariota.
Right.
On there. All right, we got another 1 o'clock game on there. We got Frisco coming all the way out to Chicago. Frisco is a 6.5-point favorite against the Bears. Yes, because the Bears are terrible.
Yeah.
Bears might be the second worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, and until they can prove they can handle a quarterback, they're
They
always
have
going to be there.
nothing. Yes, I like Justin Fields,
Right.
but their defense is gone, and he has nobody to throw to.
Yeah, they have high hopes, but I don't know what they're looking at.
I got Frisco on that one, so
Yep,
yes.
I'm with you too.
All right, so we got Pittsburgh going to Cincinnati. The Steelers are 6.5-point dog on the road against Cincinnati. JoJo's coming off a Super Bowl loss on that. Coming up with also an appendix surgery on there in the offseason. Yeah, but it doesn't matter because, again, you got Mitch Trubisky for Pittsburgh. I got Cincinnati because, again, it's JoJo, it's the trio receivers, it's Joe Mixon.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? Because it's week 1, I'm with you. I think Pittsburgh will game plan well. This will be a close game, but they're used to being the bullies on the block in this rivalry, and I just don't think it's going to play out that way for them. But I do think it will live up to the hype that it usually is as a rivalry. I think it'll be really close. I think it'll be chippy. I think it'll be a good game. But I'm with you. I think the Bengals will edge this out, and I don't expect either team to look good.
All right.
Just to be honest.
So next one we got New England against Miami. It's at Miami. New England went down early to get acclimated to the weather.
What the hell is that all about? They didn't go to the other side of the planet. They went to flipping
Well,
Miami.
they're going from New England weather to 90 degree and humidity.
Okay.
Doesn't matter on there. I got Miami winning because they're a 2.5-point favorite on there. I think New England is gonna be
Yeah, I'm not sold on Miami either, but in this situation, I think New England. That's almost reeks like desperation to go down there that early to try to get rid of.
And again, it's always this one. So those early games when Miami is hosting New England at home, that's where they always seem to stay.
and it's in their head. It's in their head.
Yeah, it's in New England's head because
They
they
went
always
down
go down to Miami
right.
early in the year and lose.
Right. And so now they went down there. They're going to go down there 5 days early and try to get acclimated to the weather. Dude, no. You didn't change, like, hemispheres.
No, you're not playing in Mile High. You're in Miami.
You didn't go to England.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't a London game. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, they lose because they already lost. They haven't even got there yet.
All right. So we got next is Baltimore on the road against the Jets. Baltimore's a 6.5-point favorite. Jets are starting Flacco at quarterback on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Baltimore.
Yeah, I think Flacco will have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder kind of like game here where a little bit like, yeah, we're against my old team. And hence it's only 6 or 7. What'd you say, 6 points?
6.5.
It's 6.5, since it's only that. But that's, yeah, I don't even expect it to. I expect them to beat that spread, honestly, Ravens. So, yep.
All right, the next one we got is Jacksonville coming up to Washington. Jacksonville's a 3.5-point dog on the road. This one, it's interesting on there. We got a new coach there on there. Again, definitely everybody's saying it's definitely run better off season, better training camp. But again, I'm still not sold on Jacksonville, especially the receivers. They don't have anybody.
You know what? They both lose, and most of all, most
importantly,
anybody who watches that game loses.
I got Washington win this one because just the defense and Riverboat Ron.
You know, I like Riverboat Ron and all that stuff, but that place is a dumpster fire. We've been on point with all these games. I'm going to go Oppo. I'm going to take the Jags in this one.
I can't argue on that one. It's not that one on there. All right, we got Cleveland going down to Carolina. Cleveland is a 2.5-point dog on the road. Baker said he's going to fucking make sure they pay for what on that. So I'm going Baker. Carolina, because remember, it is still Jacoby Brissett quarterback.
I'm like this close to treating these guys, the Browns, like the Lions back in the day, and just go against them every single time just because it satisfies my inner soul. But this time, because I'm riding my boy Baker. I love his moxie, even though it backfires on him sometimes. I wouldn't necessarily want him leading my franchise, but boy, is he entertaining as hell.
Again,
and I want him to be on fire for this one. So
yes, I want him to light them up.
Yeah, I want to see it. So
All right.
I got Carolina.
We've got the next one. We got Indianapolis is on the road against Houston. Indy is a 8.5-point favorite against the Texans.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because it's the Texans.
Yeah, Texans are horrible. Just horrible.
They're terrible.
And they're not trending in the right direction.
No.
Just like one of the teams in the next matchup, if you're going the same place, I think
Well,
you
next
are.
one is we've got Philadelphia on the road against our own Detroit Lions.
Okay,
Philly is
sorry.
I think it's a point spread drop, but here it was at 4.5 on there. I think it's down to 4.
Yeah, that's what I got here is 4.
I got Detroit pulling the upset.
Do you? I hope they do. I'm going to be in the building. It's a big family thing, so it's going to be cool. I know I've been Lions free for a long time, but I will enjoy the company and the atmosphere and the fans and hopefully a victory. I'm not predicting a victory here.
Do you think it's going to at least be a close game?
I do. I think we will get that last minute field goal heartbreak, and we will lose by 3. And I'm going to take the Eagles in that matchup, but it should be fun. I'll give you an honest opinion of what I saw on the field because you know how I am.
Yeah.
And I know it's only one game and whatever, but I'll pick up on all these little cues and I'll put that in with what we already know because we watch the team here locally.
Yeah. So
And,
we'll see on
we'll
there.
see
I just
how
don't
they
want
are.
them to crap the bed. I want to at least see on there. But
Yeah.
again, I got the Lions this year winning I think they're going to win 7 or 8 wins.
The over-under on that game is only 48.5, and that really feels like the right place to be.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be like an overwhelming game, but it should still be fun for everybody in the house. But unfortunately, I think it'll be a loss for the home team.
All right, next one we got the Giants are on the
Oh,
road
Jesus.
against Tennessee. That's only a 5.5-point game. Tennessee is favored by.
You know what? I'm sorry. The G-men are terrible.
Here's probably our shoot the boot lock or whatever.
I know, right?
Take Tennessee minus the points under because I think the Giants are terrible.
I think so too. I would beware of Tennessee going forward in the season. Though I really feel that their window of success is closing.
Yes.
If it isn't at the end of this year, it will be during this year. I just really think that they are not the team. I think it's probably the last year for them.
All right, so we got the first of the 425 games. We got Green Bay on the road against Minnesota. Green Bay is a 1.5 point favorite on this one. Again, I'm riding the upset special. I think Minnesota at home. I think they beat Green Bay. I'm still not until I see somebody catch the ball from Aaron Rodgers consistently on it. I'm going to take Minnesota for that.
Yeah, I'm. I ain't mad at you. I look at these teams and they look pretty even, I guess, on paper type of scenario. But like for me, I know you're going back to receivers, who's catching the ball, whatever. A good quarterback makes receivers, right? Like when you look at the GOAT, he had all kinds of receivers nobody knew of. When we talked about it earlier, until they got T.O., McNabb didn't have big name receiver. Like, so you receivers catch balls. Like, okay, they just need the guy to get it to them. And so now it just brings me back. When I look at a teams that are close, it brings me back to quarterback. Quarterback play wins out. I'm going to take Green Bay in this game. In a division game that they have to have. Both for both teams, but I'm going to take Green Bay.
Okay. All right, next we've got Kansas City on the road against Arizona. Kansas City's a 4.5 point favorite on this one. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because, again, Kingsbury's on the hot seat. Kyler Murray's on the hot seat. And, again, DeAndre Hopkins is out for the first 6 games.
Right.
Your number one receiver is Hollywood Brown, and he did nothing.
Right. And that's probably a safe spread. It could probably be more. That over-under in the 50s there, 53.5. I mean, those are safe numbers for Vegas.
All right, so we got next one is Vegas on the road against the Chargers. Vegas is a 3.5 point dog on this one. I think it might be one of the better games of the day on there with it, but I still got the Chargers winning this one. I don't know if they're going to cover, but I got them winning.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think they'll cover. I think it'll be a real close game. Like you said, this could be the game of the week, and I like the Chargers as well. I'm just on the Herbert bandwagon until the Raiders kind of prove that they can hold it together.
Yeah.
I'm still a little skeptical, so I'm with you.
All right, so the Sunday night game, we've got Tampa Bay on the road against Dallas. Tampa Bay is only a 1.5 point favorite on this one.
I got 2.5 on mine, but either way, that's
I think
close.
I think the spread's gone up to 2.5 on this. I got Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I mean, I know you Brady haters are like just sick of seeing him, but he's going to be on prime time in a prime time slot 3 of the first 4 weeks of the season. So you get used to seeing the GOAT, and the GOAT will win. And the sad faces you see on Cowboys fans that day, just take that picture and cut and paste that bitch week in and week out, because it's going to be that kind of year for them.
And we got Monday night. We've got Denver and Seattle. Denver is a 6.5 point favorite against Seattle on this. Yeah, because Seattle's terrible.
Yeah, Seattle is bad. Russell Wilson gets to cook. He gets to have a happy return to his former team and end with a victory. I'm with you. Seattle's that bad. I'm not impressed by Denver necessarily, but it's a good warm-up game for him probably.
Yeah.
So there it is.
So there's our pickups, and then we always say is take the opposite what we do.
Yeah,
and go from there.
Don't lose your money.
Because last year we were terrible.
We were bad, but we're back this year. We're hoping to be better this year. I had a good summer, even with the ups and downs of everything. It was very good. Moose, I know you had a great summer. The wedding was amazing.
Thank you.
I appreciate you having me in it. Meant a lot to be there and be a part of the ceremonies. And we had a great time, so it was cool, and there was so much fun this summer. I got my idiot dog to go on a 2-hour kayak ride down the Asabo, and we traveled to the carnivals and did all the fun summer stuff we all us Midwesterners do, and it's cool. But I like to learn, and I learn all kinds of fun stuff throughout the years, like useless information. Moose, I'm all about that. So I got another good one. I was doing some Google research for an unrelated situation to this day, but and I googled Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. You know what that is, dude?
No, what is it?
So the British Army and when they were in the military, like if they wanted to leave the barracks and go out and chitty chitty bang bang, they want to go to the brothels and check out the women, they had to get a ticket, a receipt, a pass, a hall pass, if you will, and that was the chitty chitty bang bang. It ain't no flying car.
Chitty chitty bang bang.
Well, until next week, friends. Chitty chitty bang bang.
Peace out, brothers. We'll see you soon.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.